Hi friends, my name is Shanelicity, and welcome back to the second part of the prologue of Project Eden's Garden. I'm feeling much better today. My hope is that we finish the prologue. Also, you'll notice we're on a different character. I just accidentally skipped over Desmond. He asked if there were any clues, and Kai said this. His name is Desmond, right? Lord, I don't know. Was it? Anyway, yeah, also one quick note right before we dive in. Doing all of the different voices just gets taxing after a little while, so I'm not gonna worry about doing all of the different voices super unique. Some of them maybe, like Ingrid I might, just because I love her like southern accent, and a few others maybe, but I'm most likely just gonna use my own voice at slightly different inflections, because I just don't have the energy to make my own voice for all of them. So let's continue, shall we? We're being pranked 100%.
Oh.
This would be a really elaborate prank.
No, seriously.
Some people have the money for it. Whatever it is, I'm killing the prick who's responsible. Unsurprisingly, they didn't seem to be getting anywhere. Bro, Ulysses is already my favorite.
Excuse me.
This is off topic, but I don't believe I ever asked your name, loud woman in visor.
Remember the name.
It's Grace, you wanka. Love it. And your surname, please? Madison. Grace Madison, the ultimate golfer.
Hey.
Huh? How do you know that?
My.
You said it in the dining hall, remember?
That's problematic.
I don't recall you being there for introductions.
However,
Maybe she was eavesdropping?
I would never.
Eavesdropping? I would never! I simply happened to overhear your conversation is all. In other words, she was eavesdropping. My brother in Christ. Hey, if we could take a step back for a second, what was this about a dining hall?
Correct.
It's inside the building over there. Is there a kitchen too?
Man.
They got anything locale? I'm starving.
Pay attention.
Be patient, will you? Introductions are still underway. Okay. But, excuse me, English. Okay, but you have to speedrun them.
Oh man.
Gaming references? From someone else? The universe has been thrown out of balance. I can't. Along with Grace Madison, we have the mighty and prestigious Wolfgang Akere. He's well known as the ultimate lawyer. Yes, that's correct. Oh, hey, lawyer man.
Lawyer man.
Is that your name for me?
Yep.
It's either that or Wolfie. Do you like Wolfie more?
I must decline.
Say with what you already have.
Bye.
A lawyer? Wow, it's so nice to meet you. Step we have. It's just squinted at me. His name seems to be escaping me. Perhaps you might know Wolfgang? Grace?
I'm not too...
I have no idea. If I know his name.
Broski.
He told me I'm pretty sure it's Mark, right? Bruh. My bad. I'm gonna habit of mixing you sort of guys together. The mid, very meh type of guys.
Oi.
Oi, what are you waiting for? Tell us your name already. Diamond Matsu, ultimate debater.
A debater?
Ooh.
So like a bargain bin lawyer?
Hey.
That's, I mean, honestly, he's kind of cooking. He came in here being all high and mighty, but his talent, in my opinion, is one of the least impressive of all of them here, if not the least impressive. Grace Madison, Wolfgang Akire, Diamond Matsu. Who else is left?
Hiya.
Come on, darling, you can do it.
See?
Yeah, share your name. Eva. Just Eva? That's funny coming from her because she's just Winona. But, whatever.
Just like my video games.
Like the spy? Eva Sunaka. That's a very pretty name.
Now would you look at that?
Fittingly elegant, isn't it? Let's not get off topic. What's your talent, Eva?
That's...
Now that she's mentioned it, I'm pretty sure you never told me your talent. What's up with that? I told you mine. It's only fair you tell me yours. Ultimate liar. Very, very interesting. Fascinating indeed. Ultimate liar? That's so funny. So, like, what's your actual
Deal
talent?
with it.
That's it.
Uh,
What?
Good to know.
Didn't know lying was something you could be the best at. You learn something new every day. I love Jean. I love him.
are you for real?
You actually believe her? How is someone supposed to make a career out of lying?
Now.
Listen, she's crazy, but I like her. Easy. Got a job in marketing. I mean, period.
It's the truth.
It's just what I am.
How can that be?
Is that supposed to be your explanation? But that's... I mean, if you're the best at lying, how are we supposed to believe anything you say? As he sputtered those last few words, we all turned to Eva expectantly. That was when it happened. Ding dong, bing bong. Iconic.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Can everyone hear me? Yes? Great.
This is another character I've seen his design, so I'm excited to see what he's all about because his design is interesting. Presuming that that's who this is.
Good morning, my amicable student friends.
The Monokuma equivalent.
I need to apologize. I realize the ride here was a bumpy one, especially for ultimates such as yourselves. But expect things to be different within these halls.
Right, death is what you shall expect.
Yes, it is my pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to Eden's Garden Academy. May this be the beginning of a wondrous journey.
Doubt it.
Did he just say we're at Eden's Garden Academy? Right. They know, I mean, there's no way. I'm calling it from the beginning. This isn't actually the academy.
No.
We can't be.
Think?
No kidding. This place looks nothing like a school.
Stop talking so loud.
I want to hear this. I'm sure you're on the edge of your seats, waiting for a proper orientation. But there's one more thing to do before we can meet face to face. It won't take very long. All I ask is that you enter the building across from me. From there, we can begin preparations for a formal introduction. Until then, farewell. Click.
I must take note of this.
That was certainly interesting.
Whack.
Couldn't agree more. Whack.
Somebody explain.
Do you think he's the person that brought us here?
You following?
Yo, what if he set up the sleeping gas on the train?
Bit complicated.
In that travel bag? How do you reckon he snuck it on?
Guys.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're not going to skip that part he said about the building, are we? He wants us to go inside. What do you think? Should we?
Hell no!
I'm not waltzing right in there just for me to die. Or something. He's so dramatic and I love it. Die? You think we're going to be harmed?
Hold on.
If our captors wanted to kill us, we'd already be dead. What would be the point in killing us now? Reactions, I guess? I don't know, I'm not a psychopath. Considering one of the main points of every Danganronpa game is the fact that there's an audience. Interesting that Mr. Influencer here would say that, huh?
How should I put it?
If it calls for it, what if we walk in together as one big group? When you know something is looking out for you, or someone is looking out for you, things can be a lot less scary. Aye, she's got a point. The only way we can progress is if we face the problem head on.
Soybean.
Easier said than done, Soybean. I suppose that makes sense, but is it too naive? There's nothing wrong with a bit of optimism from time to time. Let's just try it, okay? It's a little sus. All right. We gathered around the entrance, none of us willing to be the first to walk through. Eventually, I mustered enough willpower to push the doors open. This is an awfully long... What? What? What the hell? Who is this? Huh? There's gotta be some cap. Are you kidding me? What's this? In front of me lay the battered, bloody body of a young woman. Huh? And I see a gun and a knife. What? Yeah, valid. What the hell? Also, they counted 16 of them. Are you telling me there's a secret student? A 17th? Their voice lines are speaking for themselves. Is that girl dead? Oh, why is there a dead body? What happened?
There's no way.
Is this another student?
Holy.
What the shit?
Um.
Dining hall people, you were in this building before. Tell us what's going on.
Dude!
Yeah, why didn't you mention this other girl? This other girl.
The hell?
I never even saw her.
Really?
Huh? You were there too, bargain bin? Don't even... There's a floor below us. That's where I woke up.
Very funny.
And you missed a whole ass person? Yeah, right.
Hell no.
You saw her. You must have seen her. Come on, just admit it. Stop pressing me for an answer, you...
Hold on.
I can corroborate Damon's story. There was never a body. Miss Madison and I walked through this exact hallway and saw nothing.
I wasn't expecting this.
So between the time you left and the time you returned, this girl was murdered? You think she was murdered? Well, I don't know for sure, but what happened to her? Does that really look self-inflicted?
Oh shit!
Bro, the voice lines are great. So there's a killer running loose? But I don't recall hearing anything when I was waiting outside. Desmond can back me up, right?
Shit.
She's right. There were no screams and no one left the building. So the killer's still inside? Bro is losing his mind. Girls straight chilling. As more panicked shouts filled the corridor, Eva silently walked over to the body. Oi, what are you doing? Ignoring Grace's question, she crouched down beside the dead girl and poked her in the face.
You...
What is wrong with you? Stop that.
Strange.
Ah, okay, well, there you go. It's not real.
Eh?
Eh? This girl,
Hmm.
she's just a dummy. A dummy?
How?
Nuh-uh, that's definitely a real body.
You're crazy.
Didn't you just say you were a liar? Why should we believe you?
It's the truth.
If you don't believe me, inspect it yourself. Interesting. This is the second time she's done something like that, where she's kind of gained information on her own. Sorry, let me correct the brightness. And then said, if you don't believe me, check it yourself. So I wonder when the lying is really going to come in.
Huh.
If no one else is offering, I can do it. Wait,
Are we
him?
ready?
Well, how does that sound to everyone? He turned to look at each of us. I had my reservations, but when his gaze met mine, my lips instantly sealed shut. The look he gave me, it was unexpectedly intense.
Okay.
Yes, you can do it. The pirate, he's not a pirate, but okay, casually approached the body and knelt beside it. Then, just like Eva,
I'll be damned.
would you look at that? She's right. It is a dummy.
For real? Say what?
For real? How did she know it was
You
fake?
see?
My intuition. Also, a corpse would smell. This doesn't smell. Valid.
Dude, no.
As if. Could you be any more suspect?
That ain't it.
Not just that. There's something under the dummy. What is it? A tablet. Jean rose from the ground and turned around to face us. Sure enough, he was holding a tablet. It was slid under the dummy. There's no blood on it as far as I can tell. Oh. There's no blood on it as far as I can tell. What if it wasn't under the dummy and he had it the whole time? Danganronpa pulls that type of stuff, and even though this is fan-made, I'm just saying. Nice hiding place. I wouldn't have noticed it if I hadn't taken a closer look. Gives the impression I was supposed to, don't it?
For real?
Hey, what's on the tablet? Let me turn it on. He pressed a button, then walked over and held the tablet out for us to see. Oh, it's loading something. After a few seconds, the loading symbol vanished. Hara Koshinen? Ultimate Teacher's Aid. In its place was a photo of the girl. 5'6", 112 pounds, female, age 18. Interesting. The Ultimate Teacher's Aid. Okay. What is this? However, the tablet hadn't finished loading. Just after that image... Oh. The victim is Kara Koshinen. Koshinen, the Ultimate Teacher's Aid. She was stabbed in the torso 28 times? That's a lot. crime of passion, if I've ever heard of one. The victim also suffered chemical burns to the head. The most notable burns are to her eyes and scalp. Oh. Cause of death is blood loss. Time of death is unknown. Oh my gosh. It reads like a body report, which it is. We know this much. First, a dead body that's revealed to be a dummy, now a body report? What the hell's going on? Here we go. Geez, took you long enough to find the tablet. Ahem, long ago, a heinous murder was committed. And the victim so happened to be an ultimate, much like yourselves. What? Before you is a perfect reconstruction of a crime scene, as well as an effigy of the victim with the appropriate injuries. It was quite emotionally draining to craft that dummy. It served as a strong reminder of what was lost. So this was an actual girl who died at some point? Is that what I'm to piece together? She was such a nice girl. So much potential lost to violence. What is this man playing at? Anyway, it is your responsibility to figure out the details of her death. The surrounding area, the murder weapon, how she reacted in her final moments, etc. Oh, but don't worry about finding the murderer's identity. He's already right in front of you. Oh, see that gray man on the tablet screen? Yup, that's your guy. Please investigate the crime scene and gather as many clues as you can. After a certain period of time, you will be asked to present your findings to me. Believe me, it's in your best interest to put your full effort into this. Have fun, everyone. Click. I have to say, I really enjoy that in this game, like this type of trial run I think is really fascinating, because in the other Danganronpa games there never really was a trial run necessarily, not like this. At least the way that this is setting up to be. And I think this is fascinating because, not that this would ever happen in real life, but this feels a little more realistic to me, kind of setting up, the participants to be used to what's going on, at least a little bit, before it really starts happening,
Not okay!
Investigation? What the hell?
Back off.
Enough of this already. I don't want any part of this. Stop telling me what to do. Grace grabbed a large chunk of rock from the floor and ran over to the speaker. Screaming in obscenity, she pulled her hand as far back as she could. GG's, girl. No way, was that the watch? Trying to destroy private property? That's a zap.
Fuck you!
Got it.
Holy...
Is he for real? Is this school really trying to make us solve an old murder?
Don't say that.
Hold on, you guys. You can't just believe everything that strange man claims. Why would Eden's Garden Academy, any academy for that matter, do something like this? Even if it tried to, the Ultimate Talent Program would have stopped them. I wouldn't underestimate the school board executives. I guess the school board executives of this particular school, sure. Money can get to people's heads and make them take risks they shouldn't. This academy said it was unique. Maybe this is their version of an entrance exam.
What a joke.
They're so obsessed with being different from the competition, they've forgotten what people want. More like they've forgotten how to be sane.
What did you say?
Would the UTP really be okay with this?
Think about it this way.
Seems pretty counterintuitive. Everyone would want to quit their enrollment after this. And sue.
I'm talking.
If this is the work of a separate group, why are they using the Academy's name? As a way to hide their own, maybe? They might have even kidnapped us because we're attending Eden's Garden Academy. That's an interesting idea.
So...
Explain. Well, what if they knew we all had to board a train? It would explain why we passed out. They boarded the train before us and planted the bag with the gas.
There's gotta be something.
Because this happened on the train to the Academy, they could claim they are the Academy.
If I may ask.
Everyone keeps saying they. Isn't it the speaker man who kidnapped us?
That's not it.
It obviously wasn't just him. Seizing a train, bringing 16 people to an unknown location, that takes a team to do. Of course, that raises another glaring question. Why us? Why have we been brought into this? Is it because we're ultimates? It's not like anyone's specialty is detective work. It just doesn't add up. That's a funny comment considering the fact that there has been a detective in 2 of the other 3 games.
How
I think
grotesque.
I will let the rest of you handle this. I doubt I'm needed in this grotesque situation. I'll just be on my way. Yeah, that's okay. She said that pretty matter-of-factly. Actually, can I come with? I feel super bad leaving you alone. Oh,
Sure.
sure, I
You can
suppose.
do it.
Good luck solving the mystery, everyone. I know you can do it. Well, this is a little potentially problematic, because what if this is a reason for them to be suspect later? Because it's like, oh, they didn't participate, so they don't have the experience necessary, or something like that. I don't know. On that note, Diana and Toshiko walked away in the direction of the room with the kitchen. Huh.
Don't get close.
I'm going with them. Screw this. Kai took off down the hallway like his life depended on it. Geez, better them than
I
us.
don't know.
I don't know about all this. Will that man really let us go if we investigate?
Stay calm.
We won't know if we continue standing around like this. For now, all we can do is take the risk and do as he says. He's right. I need to brace myself and follow the directions I've been given. As of now, it's my only way to learn more information about my current situation. I can only hope this ordeal will be over soon. Here we go, baby. Investigation start. Before I do anything else, I should go back over that tablet. Okay. Or I like the investigation music. The victim is Kara Koshinen, the ultimate teacher's aide. Okay. She was stabbed in the torso 28 times. Okay. The victim also suffered chemical burns to the head. The most notable burns are to her eyes and scalp. Eyes and scalp, so that's kind of like in the front portion of her head, right? Cause of death is blood loss. Time of death is unknown. So we can presume that she died from the stabs, unless there was some other way that she lost blood. There's a lot going on here. Not really, actually. Compared to some of the other crimes, not really. Chemical burns in addition to 28 stab wounds? Jesus, I don't want to believe anything this speaker guy says, but if this murder really is based on true events, damn, the killer is totally sick to the head. Tablet has been added to the truth bullet section of your trinket. Let's go. And trinket is F1, I believe? Yes, it is. I see. Okay. Just making sure. Let's investigate, shall we? I feel like the best thing to do is start with the body, yeah? The captors gave us a lot of information about this victim. To their credit, what's written on the tablet seems accurate, but I should inspect the body just in case. Damn it, it's just a doll, Damon. Stop hesitating. Valid, but it won't be another time unless Damon's the one to die. I hope not. Well, actually, who knows? That could be a fun twist. Protagonist being the first victim? Never happened. The doll was slumped against the door, her torso soaked in blood. Part of her shirt had been ripped open, exposing bits of bloody, indiscriminate pulp. I quickly took a step back, trying to control my breathing to avoid throwing up. Ugh. It's a doll, there's no reason to be afraid of a doll, but if it looks real enough, that would still be so tough. Okay, let's look at her body first. The girl has been stabbed repeatedly. I don't need the tablet to know that. However, her cause of death, you'd think it was a stab to the heart or something, but the tablet claimed blood loss. Taking a closer look at the wounds, they didn't seem excessively deep. At least not deep enough to pierce her heart. If she died from blood loss, what does that say about the killer? It was a crime of passion. They probably could have killed her quickly if they wanted. Did they want her to suffer a slow death? Damn, this is messed up. Bloody knife. Bloody knife lay next to the victim. It's safe to say this must be the murder weapon. Bloody knife, yep. And an assault rifle with blood on it. The initial sight of the doll shocked me so much I completely overlooked this rifle. Inspecting it now, I realized something. If the victim was stabbed, why was a rifle near her body? She could have been using it. Or, I mean, there's any number of things. Whether she was using it or not, maybe it wasn't loaded. That rifle. Could you step back a bit? I'm curious about something.
No.
What? No, Before I could finish my sentence, Jean walked over to where I was and picked up the gun. Hey, you're messing with the crime scene. Ignoring me, he released the magazine of the gun with surprising ease. Eh? From the top of the magazine protruded a loaded bullet. So it was loaded. That's good to know.
I see.
Huh, that's interesting. This rifle hasn't even been used. So if it hasn't been used, we can presume that either the killer had it, but again, it was a crime of passion, so they didn't want to use the gun, right? There wouldn't have been a reason if they had a grudge and didn't want her to die quickly, or she was using the gun. And the killer had the knife, and so it was never used because he surprised her or something like that. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Definitely a dangerous thing to have around. I'll put it down and guard it so nobody gets any smart ideas. Better than him holding it. Damn, a loaded gun. With what was going on in the killer's head, why bring a gun to the crime scene and not even use it? Well, if the killer didn't have the gun, then that would be an explanation. Unless that gun was purely for intimidation. It's not very logical, but it'd be a twisted game to play with the victim. That's possible. Assault rifle has been added to the truth bullet section of your trinket. Is there anything else? Can we not go in there? Okay, I don't see anything else. Oh, can we see if there's anything else to inspect with this? No. Okay. My nerves are telling me to leave, but I know better than to listen. So there's something else I'm missing. Assault rifle, bloody knife. Do I look at the rifle again? A loaded gun, what is going on in the killer's head? Why bring a gun to the crime scene? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, hands. There we go. I was like, what the frick am I looking for? Her hands were surprisingly clean, all things considered. There were no other marks or injuries apart from her nails. It looked like there was dry blood underneath them. Why is there blood under her nails but not on the rest of her hand? There could be a number of explanations for that. I mean, if she were scratching at something, I don't know why she'd be scratching. Well, wait, she had injuries to her head. Maybe she was scratching her head? I don't know. That seemed to be all the evidence. Nothing else was catching my eye. I should check the inside of the closet now. Okay. Yes. Janitor's closet. As the rest of the building, the inside of the closet was old and dilapidated. It was the last place I'd want to dig through, but I had to gather as much evidence as possible, otherwise I won't be able to present a strong argument. And this is very much his thing. Shelf. The shelf was packed with an assortment of towels. I briskly inspected them, lifting each towel to check for anything underneath. Many had gathered dust, but that was it. Nothing looked suspicious about them. Okay, a bucket on the floor. It's a bucket, pretty typical thing to find inside a janitor's closet, but why is it randomly lying here? There's nothing inside it except, what does this smell? It smelled like bleach? Okay, I mean, if bleach was poured onto her head, into her eyes, that wouldn't feel too good. Is someone itchy if bleach is exposed? I've never touched bleach myself, so I don't know. Back of the closet. I need to inspect the area around me before I think about moving to the back of the room. Okay, my bad. There's a clock. There's a clock above the door. It doesn't seem like it works. Okay. Okay, let's talk to the peeps. There might be more clues around here. I'm going to check this entire closet for evidence. No thanks. A person like her is probably more likely to cause a murder, not solve one. Alright, have fun with that. I mean, I don't blame him for being suspicious. Okay, Wolfgang.
It's for the best.
We must make every effort to examine the crime scene as thoroughly as possible. Not for the sake of entertaining the people who kidnapped us, but for the sake of the victim. I mean, I get it, but like, this is a recreated case. Right, Wolfgang? This is not a real person, right now anyway. So I feel like investigating would actually be disrespectful for the sake of the victim. Like, it would be disrespectful to the victim and their family because it's already happened and you're being put in this fake scenario. Like, that's how I feel about it. Like, I disagree. After all, this was based on a real murder, was it not? Which is exactly why I think it's disrespectful. That was what the tablet said, though I'm skeptical about the validity of that statement. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, Cassidy.
Check it out.
Hey, check out what's behind the door. Saying that, she stepped away from the corner. It's a ladder. Doesn't feel like there's anything strange about it. Why was this brought to my attention again?
Dude, not cool.
I'm disappointed in you. Huh?
So hackney.
You call that thing a ladder? It's so obviously a step ladder.
Seriously.
Aren't they practically the same thing? Well, no. I have to agree with Miss Amber. Everyone knows an ace investigator must record his evidence as accurately as possible. That's certainly what the victim would want. Okay. The guy that doesn't get my references is no fun to be around. I'm gonna check on the peeps outside. Smell you later, lawyer man. She's already out of here? Did she even investigate anything besides that stupid ladder? Looks like that's everything around here. I should check out the other end of the room. The ladder is placed on the other side of the door, and the body is on the other side of the door as well. So there could be some relevance there. And there were 3 people here that we somehow did not see. Can't investigate that. Camera. There's another surveillance camera. Is the guy on the speaker watching us through this? Just the thought made my stomach turn. We can't investigate anything other than people, it looks like. Okay, we'll start with Desmond.
Gotta stay one step ahead.
I checked all the containers on this shelf. They're all full with the exception of one. A bottle of bleach.
Huh?
Bleach? Okay, so bleach was used. There's a bucket in this closet that reeked of it.
Makes sense.
It's probably not a coincidence, given this thing is supposed to emulate a real crime scene. It's crazy how much effort has been put into this. I can't think too much about what kind of situation we're in, or I'll never be able to handle it. Okay, Ingrid. My girl, I love Ingrid. These shelves are real intriguing. Take a look. Some of the cleaning brands are as far back as the 80s and 90s. That is interesting. Do you recognize them? Because I use them. Why would you do that?
How should I put it?
Old chemicals do the job better, since there are fewer regulations about what's poisonous and all that. Just don't ask where I got them. Don't want to alert the fuzz. I love her. I'm sure they don't care about her black market cleaning supplies. But that is interesting. They're all older. That security camera, it's brand new. Now that she mentioned it, it does look out of place. You think it would have gathered dust like the other items in here? Did it recently get cleaned or something? My company's headquarters have similar ones installed, except these cameras are even more high-tech.
Sheesh.
Typical school, spending more on security than educating their students. That's assuming this is even the Academy's doing. That's it? Okay, that was a very fast investigation. Alright everyone, that's time. Look at you all. Look at you all. You investigated the crime scene so well, it's enough to bring a tear to my eye. Jokes aside, please meet by the elevator for the class trial. You should find it somewhere around the Tree of Ignorance. Interesting, the Tree of Ignorance. That feels very opposite of the biblical story. I am religious myself, and am pretty familiar with Christian theology, and the tree in reference would most likely be not the tree of life, but the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So, tree of knowledge versus tree of ignorance. Kind of a fun contrast there. Interesting. Don't make me wait too long. I might start getting zap happy. See you soon. Class trial? What the hell does that mean? You about to find out. Sounds like that's the end of our investigation.
Let's see.
If we're done with this closet, we should go outside and talk to the others. Okay.
Come off the grass.
Oh, what the hell's the class trial? Your guess is as good as mine.
Duh.
Obviously, we're going to court. Court?
What?
He's going to put us on trial?
Listen to me.
Maybe that's where we'll talk about all the clues we found.
Just saying.
Makes sense for our current situation. Investigation, clues, files. What else could that stuff be for?
But
Good point. It does seem oddly familiar to court procedures. Obviously, we're missing key suspects and witnesses, but they don't seem to be relevant to this case anyway.
Wait a minute.
Why do you think that, Wolfgang? He mentioned that this elevator was near the Tree of Ignorance, right? He must be referring to the room with the tree.
focus.
Probably, yeah, it's the only thing I can think of. However, I don't recall seeing an elevator anywhere. Then what are we waiting for? Let's grab our butts over there. Get our butts over there, excuse me. She keeps treating this like a dumb game. If we're really going on trial, that's going to be a nuisance to deal with. We might as well follow her. One by one, everyone left. I guess I have no choice but to go as well, but what about everyone else that went to the kitchen? Hold on. I want to see if they're still in here. The others have already left. I need to get a move on. Okay. My bad for being concerned. Rip. You never know. What are you doing out here, Miss Ma'am? Toshiko? And what do you mean so stoic at a time like this? Aren't you worried at all?
It's simple.
No, not really. It's not like we're investigating some high-stakes murder. Foreshadowing. She's a dummy, that's it. Yes, quite. I completely concur. It's interesting because I understand why she'd be nervous. The situation definitely would be strange and nerve-wracking. But, like, part of me wonders if she's being so nervous because she has information that we don't and suspects that an actual killing game is going to happen. That would be interesting. She's obviously faking it. Without even looking at her face, I can tell she's sweating bullets. Exactly. Okay, here we go. Let's do it. Okay, here we are. When I arrived at the tree, I saw that people were already bickering.
Check it out.
A big tree? Eden's Garden Academy? Overused religious symbolism is tight. My bad. I really hope we get let out after this.
Oi, you.
Can you confirm, liar chick? Why are you asking
Come
her?
off the grass.
Come off the grass. She's clearly faking her talent.
Am I hearing you right?
And that makes her one of the bad guys? Who would want to fake their identity besides someone with a secret to hide? I bet she's the one who brought that gas bomb onto the train.
Really?
And she didn't think to bring a mask to avoid passing out or whatever?
No one else is gonna say it.
If all you needed was a mask to protect you, then... Yeah, hey, don't look at me. I literally passed out. Well, we think he passed out. He was the first one to pass out. He could have been faking it. We have no way of knowing. This helmet's got plenty of holes in it. I'd suffocate
I
otherwise.
got something to say.
No, the liar chick's totally sus. Okay, just look at how calm she's been acting. She somehow knew that dead body was a dummy, then she poked it in the face? That's not
Deal
normal.
with it.
I told you, it was my intuition. Intuition, my ass.
Hold your horses.
It's not unbelievable. My gut told me we should inspect the doll. Now look at us. We're on a mission to solve her murder.
Any clue?
Where's this elevator supposed to be again? Obviously the tree. That's right, there's meant to be an elevator around here. Right there. But all I see is the Tree of Ignorance. You can't see the very obvious, like, door outline, my dude? Maybe we're missing something here. Yes, you are missing something here. Or maybe we're being played for fools. Maybe you? Or the tree? At the base of the tree was a marble bust depicting a figure in a creepy mask. There was cracks all over the mask, and one of the eyes was even missing. How old must this thing
What
be?
you doing?
You noticed the statue too, don't you? Huh? Oh yeah.
Alright.
What's up with the statue? There's definitely something whack about it. I just can't put my finger on what. The mask is broken. There's a piece missing. Is that weird? The statue's probably like super old. It makes sense. It'd be cracking and stuff.
I'm talking.
No, this definitely seems intentional.
Wait.
Like, it's crappy on purpose? Bruh. Even so, it's not relevant to the elevator, is it? Well, you know,
What
maybe if we
about-
find the piece and place it back on the statue, something will happen. Like a puzzle-solving game. Valid. This kind of sounds far-fetched, but it wouldn't hurt to try. You're saying we gotta look around for the other part of the mask? Hold on to your butts, because I got the eyes of a predator.
Whatever.
This isn't a Never mind. With that, everyone started to search the tree again. Some people inspected the tree itself, while others scored around it. After what seemed like only a few minutes, Grace stood up frantically with something in her hand. "Oh, everyone, I found it!" We gathered around Grace to see what she was holding.
Nice.
Nice, that must be it. What should we do with it? Do we just stick it back in the mask?
Leave it to me.
Probably, yeah. I don't know if that's how he'd say it. I'll take care of it.
Soybean.
Back off, Hercules. You ain't the one who found it. Grace brought the piece over to the statue and slotted it right into the mask. And then, nothing happened.
Fail.
Oh, that was anticlimactic. Click. Suddenly, the ground we were standing on began to shake.
Golly.
Oh, golly.
Oh, shit!
Are we about to die? No, you're not about to die, Kai. Don't worry. Who could have guessed? Okay.
No.
Yeah, I was right.
Whoa.
That actually worked? A secret passageway in a tree. I never thought I'd see that. The Tree of Knowledge, a symbol of sentience, intuition, and understanding, exists here only as a barren replica. The Tree of Ignorance emulates the wonder of nature, but does not achieve it. And justly so, for ignorance often aspires to be seen as wisdom. Valid?
Game over, man! Game
Oh
over!
god, now he's spitting random philosophy. We're so effed. Bruh. Will this take us to the elevator?
What about?
There's stairs at the foot of the opening. What are we waiting for? Let's explore.
If I may ask.
Why the sudden rush?
Duh.
I want to get home, duh.
Elementary, my dear.
If we get this over with, we'll get out quicker. It's simple math.
Sure.
Fair enough. Again, she seems so nervous, like she knows something. So we just walk in, do we? One by one, we approach the opening of the tree. Okay. And descended into the darkness. This is an elevator. Look at all of them. Hold on, I just gotta see them. Where they're all standing. Interesting. We got freaking Grace right at the front. Okay. You know, I'm always interested because in these shots, there's always like one or two that you can see their faces. And in this one, the only one whose face you can see is Winona. Everyone else is facing the door. Interesting. And if I'm not mistaken, that's a similar position that Correcchio was in. Chapter 3 culprit? Anyway. I see. The elevator is underneath the tree. Reckless investments, I'm telling you. With a rumble, the elevator began its descent. We stood in silence, 16 worried strangers plummeting into the unknown. That's what we were, after all. Random people thrown into this horrible place. And for what? Some twisted man's game? Also, the way they're all standing... I'm just trying to see if anyone's standing in like a particular manner. Nothing super noteworthy. A fake crime scene, an investigation, a creepy statue, an elevator in a tree. None of this was the work of your average kidnapper. This was something much bigger, and in no way could it be connected to Eden's Garden Academy. And Ulysses was still jotting things down. The elevator began to slow, snapping me out of my thoughts. I stood up tall, and when movement stopped completely, the doors opened. In front of us was a large, circular hall, supported by marble pillars. Cool. In the center of the room, 16 podiums had been arranged into a circle. Were those for us? Welcome, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the elevator ride, even if it was a bit quick. As you can see, this is the trial room. Each podium has a name on it. Find your designated podium and stand there until I give out further instructions. And if we don't comply, then I'll zap you, of course.
Back off.
Oh, the zapping stuff again. Just face it, Miss Madison. We have to go along with his demands. Looks like there's a few smart ones in the pack, eh? Well, come along now. We don't have all day. There was no avoiding it. We had to assume our places. Interesting. Oh, here we go, baby. Look at that. But that's not everyone, though. Scanning the faces around me, everyone wore similar expressions. I mean, their expressions are kind of different. Some of them look concerned, but some of them are kind of intense. Okay, wait. Yo, The music goes hard? Bro, they cooked. They cooked. Genuinely. Discomfort, anger, worry, it didn't end. Okay, yeah, all the different things. We've been kidnapped and forced to play as pawns in some inane game. No free will, no choice in our actions. Here's everyone else. Wolfgang looks awfully happy to be there. Just gonna point that out. We can't see Jet's face. Eva looks rather intense, actually. Same thing for Cassidy. Cassidy and Wolfgang look far too happy about this. Oh, this art is so good. Genuinely. All we had to do is move forward. We had to hope he said the thing for an escape. A way to run from this twisted place. We had to solve this murder case. Bum, 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 bum. Yes, thank the Lord. In fact, y'all, when I stopped at the last one, I exited the game thinking that it would like automatically save. It didn't, so I had to like skip through everything back to this part. It was very annoying. Would you like to save? Yes, I would. Thank you. Okay. Court preparation. View trinket. I mean, I'm not too worried. We got the tablet, bloody knife, assault rifle, bucket, and victim's hands. I mean, I have an idea for pretty much all these things. I don't know. This is my theory, okay? Obviously, we don't really know anything about the actual culprit, so it's hard to gauge. But the tablet tells us that she had an injury on her scalp and eyes, and that she was stabbed 28 times? 28 times. So we can presume that the knife was used for the stabbing. The assault rifle has blood on it, which means that one of them was holding the gun when she was stabbed. Because why else would there be blood on it? You know what I mean? So whether it be the culprit or the victim, one of them was holding the gun. There's no other reason why it would have blood, is my thought. It wasn't used, which makes me think that the victim, Nara, I think her name was, if that was her name, Kara, my bad, she was probably holding the gun. And then the culprit came out of nowhere with the knife and killed her somehow. The only other piece is these two. The bucket, we know that there was bleach. And it's most likely that bleach was dumped on her head. Her hands were... Well, actually, now that I think about it, hold on. This is pretty simple. We know that there was a stepladder behind the door where she was laying dead. If the guy dumped a bucket of bleach on her head while she was holding the assault rifle, then she would be blinded. She wouldn't be able to see him. He could come up, stab her a bunch. She wouldn't be able to do anything with the gun. In terms of the hands, it could be a number of things. It could be she was scratching at her head. He could have scratched at her assailant. It could have been any number one of those things. That's my guess. I could be wrong. I don't know for sure, but there's not very many clues. We'll see. Begin class trial. So wait, just to make sure. Yeah, we're gonna keep everything on kind. I don't care about the difficulty. Begin class trial. Class trial in session. Oh, it looks so good.
Let's
Ooh.
begin with a brief explanation of the class trial.
Very
The
nice.
objective here is simple. Explain how the murder took place.
How nonchalant he sounds.
Using evidence you've gathered during the investigation, you will argue what you believe happened to the victim. Should
Okay.
you all agree on the right answer, you will be free to leave this place.
Okay.
Should you all agree on the wrong answer, well, you'll find out.
Not cryptic at all.
That's all there is.
Imagine if someone just had to die.
Everybody.
Somebody, get me out of here.
Let's go. Voice lines.
If this is something we must discuss, I know a good place to start.
Yeah, he seemed awfully excited to dive into this, which makes him... I get he's a lawyer, but it makes him super sus.
Get me out of here, 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 get me out of here!
Girl, she's gonna get zapped.
Ah, somebody get me out of here!
Girl, chill. Seriously, what the frick? Also, these sprites look so good.
What happened to her?
Man, I know that it would be too much to ask, but if this whole game was voice acted, I would love that. But I felt that way about the normal games, so
Oh, shit! They fried her brain!
these voice actors did such a good
Calm
job.
down. It's only a shock. She won't suffer any permanent side effects. If I wanted to see the brain dead bicker, I'd just turn on the telly.
Valid.
On that note, please carry on.
Holy shit. The people running this thing aren't playing around.
As you were saying, Wolfgang?
Right. The way I see it, the objective of this
By the way, can I get like a seat with this thing?
Bruh. Kai, you need to shut the
Just
frick
gonna
up.
be an onlooker. It's only fair.
You're seriously not going to contribute?
I like Desmond a lot.
What am I even supposed to do?
Put your detective hat on, buddy. We're here to solve a mystery.
He also seems he's into it.
Who murdered that dummy chick, right?
Not who murdered her, how they murdered her.
Which is interesting because usually in the class trials, that is specifically what they're going for, is who, not how. I mean, I guess for, a setup trial, it makes sense that this is how they would do it, but,
Did that tablet not explain it?
well, not exactly.
It listed her wounds, yes, but it didn't explain how they were inflicted.
Probably because it's so obvious.
Well, yes, the wounds and how she died is obvious. The exact course of events is what might not be quite as obvious.
But, Miss Amber, you didn't even read the tablet.
And I don't have to!
Would you look at that? A debate's already underway.
Bro, they did such a good job on so many of these characters. Like, I'm falling in love with so many of them. Rip. These guys are clearly confused. I need to stop them before they arrive at the wrong conclusion. Oh gosh, do you hear that? That's the sound of a non-stop debate approaching. Let's go. During non-stop debates, your classmates will speak one after another without interruption. Students may say things that contradict the truth, and it's your job to determine which statements must be broken in order to progress the trial. For your ammo, you have been armed with the truth bullets you gathered during the investigation. Truth bullets that are relevant to the debate will be loaded into your truth cylinder. Use the mouse to aim your reticle and right-click to fire. Okay, you want to aim for words highlighted in gold. Those are the weak spots. A lie or contradiction may be hiding within a weak spot. Carefully compare your classmates' statements to the evidence you have gathered, and use the correct truth bullet to destroy the relevant weak spot. If things are flying by too fast, use the spacebar to concentrate. This will temporarily slow down time. Speaking of time, be sure not to run out of it. That's an automatic game over. Now, not that someone of your caliber would ever fail. Anyway, press the F key to revisit these controls whenever you wish. That's all for now. Don't jump to too many conclusions. Love that. Let's go, baby. Assault rifle. That's all I have?
Mystery
Okay.
was never about who killed
Probably
her,
because it's kind.
but how she died.
Is that true?
Objection! It's obvious
Bro,
what the murder
Phoenix?
weapon was.
I didn't get a good look at the crime scene, but the body was pretty bloody.
And what could have spilt that blood? Besides that big
Oh, my bad.
scary gun!
Ah,
No,
that's
frick.
right. There was a
Oops.
gun.
You hear that, lawyer man? She agrees.
She agrees. The loudest voices in the room aren't always the smartest. Fortunately, an uninformed
The
argument, something or
mystery was
other.
never about who killed her,
Can I, like,
but how she died.
I can't
Is that
go faster.
true?
Objection! It's obvious what the murder weapon was.
Yeah, I can't go any faster.
I didn't get a good look at the crime scene.
Unless I just don't
but
know.
The body was pretty bloody.
And what could have spilt that blood? Besides that big scary gun.
No, that's wrong.
That's wrong, baby. Because it was loaded and was never used.
Cassidy, can you stop butting in? You barely investigated the crime scene to begin with.
Bro, let him cook.
Oh, what? I searched that place from top to bottom.
All right, then tell me, how was a fully loaded assault rifle used as the murder weapon?
His voice is annoying. I'm not gonna lie.
It wasn't. Obviously, the shooter reloaded their gun to full capacity. Any smart shooter could tell you that.
Right, Desmond.
Why are you bringing me into this?
Because you're a marksman, I guess.
Except, the victim suffered multiple stab wounds to the torso.
Right. There was no
If the
evidence
gun
of
was
a
fired,
gunshot wound.
Not only should the body have had bullet wounds, but there would be shell casings from the fired bullets. We saw neither at the crime scene.
Well, the shell casings could have been picked up. Details matter, Cassidy, trust me.
Didn't do that, chicken. What was the actual murder weapon?
Girl didn't look at anything. What was the actual murder weapon? The knife.
I got it.
Thank goodness they're making this easy.
Bloody knife. It's just so blatantly obvious. It was literally right next to the victim's body.
Maybe I should have gone to normal.
Cam's razor gotta ruin everything.
Interesting. Both the knife and the rifle were present at the crime scene, but only the knife was used.
Kind of
Right.
weird choosing the inferior weapon.
It assumes that the culprit had the gun to begin with. That's nice,
If the killer
Ingrid.
didn't use the rifle, why was it at the crime scene?
Maybe it came from inside the closet.
That's possible too.
Don't see why
Unlikely,
you'd be storing
but-
a gun in a janitor's closet.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. What if it's not even related to the murder?
Of course it's related. It's
Yeah,
covered
there's
in
blood on it. Yeah.
Oh no. Everyone's starting to yell.
Spade getting out of control fast. I need to say something. I mean, it didn't feel like it was that out of control, but to each of their own. Yeah, it's only gonna give me one.
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
Yet
Yes.
they opted for the knife. Odd choice.
I bet that gun didn't even work. These
Uh,
days, it's all about aesthetics over effectiveness.
Whether it worked or
That's
not is
like your
debatable.
opinion, lady.
If the gun was broken, then the killer would have no reason to bring it with them.
Is that what we're contradicting?
They did.
Watch it be for the aesthetic.
That's what I'm gonna shoot it at because I'm going to wait. Right, I was about to say we can't assume. Yeah, I kind of feel
To
like the victim had
reiterate,
it.
Both the rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
Yet they opted for the knife.
I can't go faster, unfortunately.
Odd choice.
That is okay. Oh, I can. Never mind. You bet.
If the gun was broken, then
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Wait. Sorry, Winona.
Stop that thought right there. If we keep assuming the killer had the gun, we'll end up running in circles.
what? You think the killer was unarmed?
Well, unarmed with a
No,
gun, he
they were
probably had the
definitely
knife.
Armed
Yeah.
with the knife. The reason they didn't use a gun is probably because they never had it to begin with.
And
Yeah.
then
That made the most
did.
sense. The
Easy.
victim.
The victim.
Whoa, the dummy had the gun?
Yes.
It wasn't the killer. It has to be her. She must have brought it to the closet.
That also explains why there's gun on
She
it.
was
Blood
probably
on it.
carrying it before the murder, but dropped it when the killer attacked her.
Most likely.
I guess that makes some sense.
Complete sense.
He's annoying as
I
hell.
wouldn't be so sure about that. Aren't you overlooking something?
Okay, Akire.
Huh?
The victim was stabbed from the front, meaning she could have seen the killer coming, correct?
Yeah, but that's what the bleach was for. Sure, her
If
eyes
so,
were blinded.
Why didn't she shoot them?
She was blinded by the tablet specifically said
The
this.
killer memorized her AI movements.
Basically, I bet that's the case.
Before she had the chance to defend herself.
Maybe.
Not technically true.
Well,
There's evidence of a struggle between the victim and the killer.
oh, is he talking about the fingernails? I wasn't sure if that had anything to do with the killer. Specifically, evidence that shows the victim attempted to fight back. Okay, so that's what we're saying the hands are for?
This is it.
Okay.
We found dry blood under the victim's fingernails, which implies she was clawing at her attacker.
Okay.
Of course, no explanation is definitive without photo proof of the killer, but I'm confident this is what happened.
Interesting.
Why would you resort to scratching when you're carrying a gun?
Well,
Did
if you
something
lost the
get in the
gun,
way of her using it?
Yeah, she was blinded, people. The tablet said this.
Stole it from her.
She should have seen or heard him coming from the hallway at the very least.
Unless he was already in the
Why do you think
closet.
she was in the hallway?
That's where the fight happens, right?
I think you're getting ahead of yourself. How can we be sure the fight happened there?
Maybe the fight started in the hallway, and after it ended, her body was dragged into the closet.
Blood probably would have been visible on the ground.
Shouldn't there have been streaks of blood on the floor or in the hallway?
Yeah, absolutely.
Drag marks. Can't say I saw any.
It was merely a jest. No need to take it so seriously.
Girl.
Instead of dragging the victim, what if the killer carried her?
It's an idea.
I don't know why they would want to do that, but it would explain the lack of drag marks.
Well, if you can't say why, then what's the point?
Wouldn't the killer have been covered in...
Yeah, covered in blood.
Aye. It should have gotten everywhere. Those wounds were brutal. A few inches deep, I reckon. Carrying her would have done nothing to stop the blood flow.
Good point.
She was obviously killed in the closet. That's where the blood was.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
It's okay, Eloise. We still love you. No, it's okay.
Moving on.
Dang.
That fight. The victim had the gun, but she was overpowered?
If she
Seems like
wanted
it.
to, she could have just, you know.
It doesn't make much sense, does it?
There must be something we're missing, something that explains how the victim was overpowered. And I know I'm the only one who can figure that out. I feel like someone else could have figured this out. I feel like I've already figured it out. All right, I'll talk about agree points. During the last nonstop debate, you would have noticed that some phrases were blue. Bet you weren't expecting that, huh? Those phrases are called agree points. They are the counterpart to weak spots. As the name would suggest, if an agree point aligns with the evidence you've gathered, you can use your truth bullets to prove it correct. Simply aim your reticle at it, as you would with a weak spot, and shoot. In your pursuit of the truth, you must be prepared to corroborate your classmates' testimonies. When it would be wise to do so is for you to figure out. Good luck. Okay, bet. Tablet and bucket. We're probably going to use the bucket.
Killer pulled a fast one and knocked the gun out of her hand.
Maybe.
By the sounds of it, those two did have a crazy tussle.
But she still carried a gun. So why didn't she shoot?
I like his voice
bet
actor.
That girl didn't even see them.
Yes. No.
Appreciate the support, but you're not talking any sense, mate.
What? Oh, the tablet. The tablet. Because the tablet said that she... My bad. I agree with him, but I used the wrong one. I got ahead of myself.
Why didn't she shoot? I bet that girl.
Didn't even...
There we go. I'm so silly. Because the bucket would have been how they made that happen. I just got ahead of myself.
John actually has a point. The victim probably couldn't see what was going on.
Hell
According to the
yeah.
tablet, she suffered chemical burns to the face
How do I
and eyes.
take it out of
That
auto
sort
mode?
injury would have effectively blinded her.
Spacebar. That's what we want. There we go. I was like, I don't want it to be auto necessarily.
Also, inside the janitor's closet, there was a large empty bottle of bleach. That's probably the chemical that caused the burns.
Blinded?
yeah.
With bleach? That's horrible.
Yeah, that does suck.
All that pain, yet she still managed to fight back.
Well, I think anyone would have.
She sure put up a struggle. Without a gun, I guess the next best thing was her hands.
Yeah, I guess so.
The killer was definitely the one who blinded her.
Indeed. Knowing she had a gun, he blinded her to make her less dangerous. Then, when he pinned her against the door and stabbed her, she tried to retaliate.
Until eventually
Okay.
dying from her wounds.
Sounds about right to me.
Jeez, this is brutal. Couldn't they have toned down the violence?
The past is in the past, and we can't change that. All we can do is solve her untimely death, eh?
I mean, by the sounds of it, we've already figured it out, right?
It does kind of seem that way.
No, not yet.
Seriously?
But we've already discussed so much!
We know she was armed. We know she was blinded. We figured out how she died. How is this not a closed case?
Please understand, I'm proud of everyone's hard work so far. Because of you, we're one step closer to bringing the victim justice.
Wolfgang, even if this is based off of a real crime, we don't even know whether or not the actual crime was solved, like by police and investigators, detectives, X, Y, and Z, right? So it's like this is, as far as you're concerned, purely fake, just based off something real. So why does bringing the victim justice matter in this scenario?
This was never about the dummy.
Right, exactly. Thank you, Mark.
However, we should think of this case like an equation. Knowing how it works is only half the struggle. Now we need to figure out why.
Yeah, but you don't know anything about the culprit, or even the victim for that matter.
In the motive?
You're on the right track.
You speak like we have any information on the killer.
Right.
The man's a stock image. He doesn't even have a name.
Right.
What are we supposed to ascertain from that? That he's a non-character?
Right.
Not every answer will be written down for you. Sometimes actions speak louder than...
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold the phone!
Grace is back in action.
Grace?
What? Since when was Grace back to normal?
Right now, soybean. Watching you guys try to solve this mystery has been like watching a dumpster catch on fire.
Is she about to try and, like, give a different idea? I mean, I feel like they were on the money.
All that smoke must have clouded your vision, cause there's a big-ass elephant in this room.
Yeah, like what, Grace?
Elephant in the room?
That's giving us too much credit.
So the killer incapacitated that girl. She had a gun, it makes total sense. Problem is, you've yet to explain how he used the bleach.
Oh. Well, that's obviously what the stepladder was
I
for.
sort of assumed he spilled it on the victim.
Right. He just tipped the bottle over her.
That's what the bucket was for.
That bottle is where the bleach came from, sure. But I doubt the bottle itself was involved in the murder.
Well,
When
maybe.
we found it,
Maybe
it
not.
was neatly ordered on a shelf near the back of the closet.
So he prepared it. He poured it in the bucket and then climbed the stepladder and poured it on her head.
The gun and knife were just thrown on the floor. So it's weird this weapon was handled so differently.
Do you think the killer just poured the contents of that bottle into something else?
Sure,
Yes.
Before the actual murder took place, I'd say.
And what is this something else? Go on, explain it before this dumpster turns molten.
Girl, it ain't that complicated. I promise. Right. Before we move on from the subject, we need to make sure its logic is completely sound. Alright then, let's put out this fire. I wouldn't call it a fire, but this is a good enough test for them. This time we're definitely going to use the bucket.
If the original bottle's been emptied, where'd the bleach go?
In the bucket.
Into
another bottle?
What about a container?
Wait, that was
There were
it.
a bunch
Dang.
in the closet.
I bet the killer had a secret water gun.
Bruh.
So when the victim came in, pow! He squirted her in the eyes.
Hey! The ink vanishes when the battle's over.
Call the fire brigade, Grace.
Bruh. How do you something but what? Yep.
Into another bottle?
Container.
No! It was too fast. Or I was too slow, rather. Yep, okay.
Bottle?
Here we go. There we go. Indubitably, Ingrid.
She's correct. The killer put the chemicals in a bucket.
Yes.
Or, more specifically, the same bucket we found at the crime scene. After all, it reeked of bleach. If the killer didn't use it to transport bleach, what else did they use it for? Personal cleaning? I doubt it.
Yo, that makes sense.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
I love her.
Okay, cool. So, how'd the killer use that bucket to spill bleach in the victim's eyes?
Yeah, if they had a gun, it would have been difficult, but clearly they were hiding behind the door.
It would be a fairly heavy bucket, so it's unlikely he threw it on her.
She'd shoot him before he even had the chance. Use your brain, mate.
Right.
Of course, my apologies.
Hey, yo. It's a good question. How is the killer able to get the hefty bucket of chemicals into the victim's eyes? Especially without her knowing. There must be some kind of clue missing here.
Even
Think,
if he
think,
did
think.
manage to splash her, the girl should have sustained intense facial burns.
Well, she did partly.
However, aside from her eyes, her face was relatively untouched.
This implies that it came from above.
Well, if you check the tablet, it said she had burns to the scalp, too.
Burns to the scalp? How does that work?
That fell from above.
Unless those chemicals came from above?
That's right, above.
Did the killer somehow suspend the bucket in the air?
Blue.
Maybe there was a mechanism that made it tip over when someone entered the room.
That could be the case.
Where is this bucket supposed to be again?
Above. Which, well, could mean anything.
Was the killer hiding above the door frame?
No, he was probably hiding behind the door.
There's no way they were up there. There's nothing for them to sit or hold on to. Not to mention, they couldn't have stabbed her from up there.
And if there's no place for the killer to sit, then there's no place for the bucket to sit.
Unless you take into account the size difference. The space above the entrance might not be able to support a person, but it can still support something as small as a bucket.
And that thing supporting the bucket?
Two things. For the bucket to be above the victim and for it to spill on her when she entered the room. In other words, he needed to balance the bucket, but on what? So if the door was like partly open, the bucket could be sitting on top of that or something, and then she opens it, it falls. Nothing, stepladder, door, knife, the door.
I got it.
Yeah.
I don't know how we overlooked this, but I've got it. The killer just balanced the bucket on the door.
Like in those water bucket pranks people film?
Exactly. When the victim came into the room, she pushed open the door and caused the bucket to fall on her. This would make it so she couldn't shoot back or even get a chance to see her assailant. When the bucket hit the ground, it probably rolled away. That'd explain why we found it a couple feet from the victim.
That is a possibility, yes.
Yeah.
It sounds like the best conclusion.
Indeed it
There's
does.
just one problem. How was the killer able to reach that high?
The stepladder.
Unless they were abnormally tall, it'd be difficult to place something on top of that door.
Well, let's use that as our next point of discussion. How did the killer set up this trap?
Bounce back on the door, killer would need to reach pretty high. Yes, there was something. I can answer that. Indubitably. Spot detection. You. Yes.
This is it.
Love to see
There's
it.
a stepladder hiding behind the closet door. The killer probably used that. After climbing it, they could position the bucket right on top of the door.
Indubitably.
My precious stepladder? You think the bad guy
Bruh.
used my super duper obvious stepladder?
Cassidy, bruh.
Occam's razor.
Yes, it appears our killer didn't care much for subtlety.
It seems like Wolfgang is very set on justice for victims. So, assuming he doesn't die first, or isn't the first culprit, it'll be interesting to see how he works in an actual class trial, needing to get justice for the victim and to know everything about what happened, you know?
No matter how obvious it seems, it's the only answer that makes sense.
It was the only knickknack of its kind, too. If there's something else that killer could have used, it's escaping me.
I see. It makes sense with what we've got so far. But I'm not done yet. I still have one last question for you apes.
Why do you care so much, Grace?
Please just leave us alone. Oh, I'm so tired.
Hey, don't be like that. Grace may be loud, but her questions have really helped our discussion.
Diana and Kai they've been talking a lot. I wonder if they knew each other before.
Anyway, what was the killer doing when that bucket poured onto the girl's head?
He was most likely waiting behind the door, so that when... Well, because he would have had to have already been in the room in order to set that up. He couldn't have entered later, or the bucket would have fallen on himself. So he would have been on the other side of the door.
He obviously didn't just stand there and observe.
I have to agree, they must have been hiding somewhere, waiting for her to arrive. Somewhere nearby, I'd assume. Where was the killer hiding? Outside, on top, behind the door.
What about behind the door? The killer could have hidden there as the girl entered.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the stepladder be in the way?
Okay. Bruh. In the back of the janitor closet then?
I've got it. The killer was hiding in the back of the closet. If he was pressed up against the furthest shelf and facing the entrance, there'd be a diagonal path between him and his victim. I say diagonal because that's the only way you can make a direct charge forward.
They're being oddly specific. I mean, he could have been in the top left corner. He could have been in the top right corner. He could have been in any number of places.
Also, when the victim entered the room, she would have been standing with her back to the hallway, right outside the killer's range. That's why the stab wounds were only made to her chest.
Okay. That's valid.
Creating the crime scene we found! Great job, guys! We're actually doing this!
That was the last mystery, right?
Yeah, but now Wolfgang. He still wanted us to figure out why.
Together now.
Even if it's all fake, I feel really bad for this victim.
It's an ugly sight, but she's no victim.
Huh?
Well, technically she is, but let's be real. The girl was carrying a gun.
It could have been out of self-defense.
She probably provoked the killer, and they killed her in self-defense. It's a clear-cut case of the hunter becoming the hunted, no?
I disagree. Because, well, there could be some truth to this. The main reason I disagree is because it was a set-up murder. You know what I mean? Like, they had to take the time to put the bleach in the bucket and put it on the door and hide so that when she came in, then he could go for the killing blow. But I wonder, why did she come in the first place? It could have been because she was chasing him, which gives validity to her point. It's possible that she was chasing him because she wanted to kill him. Maybe. But in that case, it's possible that the killer provoked her, but she had a gun. So he ran away and hid in the closet, and while she was searching for him, she did this whole setup. She walks in, he goes for it. I don't know.
That's no excuse.
What?
There's no justifying murder.
Well, sure.
Killing a woman is the worst thing a man could do.
I agree. I feel like the only counterpoint to that is if the woman's about to kill the man. I mean, there's so much nuance to this, right? It's not a clean-cut idea.
You're emanating a sizable amount of emotional tension. Are you okay?
Yeah, because she's very observant, I would imagine.
There's no excuse. There never was an excuse.
My dude, this is fake.
28 stab wounds. No girl, no person should ever suffer Kara's fate.
Okay, brother.
Wait,
calm down.
Who's Kara?
It was the victim's name. Didn't anyone read the tablet?
My brother in Christ.
I agree with you, dude. But you don't have to shout out your point.
Exactly.
Oi, what's all this about? We've figured out the case. Stop trying to drag it on.
No. We're not finished here.
My dude.
Huh?
There's no murder without a proper motive. We need to discuss why Kara died.
Him being so insistent on this could simply be because he is a lawyer, which I get. However, if he has any involvement with the killing game, it could also be because he wants them to get practice in figuring out why. Because sometimes that's extremely relevant in cases.
I am not going this far for a fictional murder case.
I mean, I get her point, though.
We aren't looking for a murderer. We're looking for answers, which we have.
Do you turn in a half-finished exam, Winona? An essay without its conclusion?
My brother in Christ, that's subjective.
This isn't about efficiency. This is about being right. Or do you, a supposed entrepreneur, not value integrity?
Hey, yo. He's going for blood.
What the hell?
Let's just talk about the motive. There's no harm in doing that, right?
Interesting. So she's definitely the type of character to try and, like, calm everyone down.
Well, what was the motive? Was the killer fighting for their life? Or were they going out of their way to murder?
They could have been fighting for their life if the teacher's aide threatened them first, but 28 stab wounds insinuates that it was a crime of passion. And if that's the case, then they could have gone out of their way.
Maybe the gun freaked him out.
If I was in the killer's shoes, I'd definitely be nervous.
Yeah, but you would only need one. I mean, this is gruesome, but you'd only need one stab to the heart or the neck, and it would be over.
Thing is, while acting out of self-defense is possible, since when does it look like this?
Right.
Given the severity, I'd liken it to a crime of passion.
Exactly. And this is why Ulysses Wilhelm is already one of my favorite characters, baby.
Something done on impulse?
What if they were frightened? The spooky thing might have set them off big time.
That's wrong. There's no way this was done in self-defense.
My dude, chill. Bro's looking like the main character, like his villain saga.
No matter what excuse the killer uses, it doesn't change the fact they have blood on their hands.
Well, that's true.
Yo, bud, you seem a little pressed.
Yeah.
Silence! I won't allow this!
My dude! Wow, things are getting emotional. While you've only been using logical arguments to further the trial so far, now might be a good time to change your approach. Introducing the pathos mechanic. Oh, interesting. Okay. During the nonstop debates, the emotionally charged commentary of your classmates will appear as purple text. These comments are called pathos statements. You can absorb these pathos statements by hovering over them with your reticle and pressing E. The pathos statement will then be loaded into your truth cylinder. I see, so I can use it as a truth bullet. Find a weak spot that is directly contradicted by the pathos statement and fire. If successful, you will make a powerful emotional argument to counteract your opponents. Stay on the lookout for pathos statements. While you'll always be able to advance the trial using pure logic, emotional arguments can lead to some unique conversations. So we'll go for that, for sure. Tablet.
To kill Kara so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this.
Bro, calm down.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm?
Yes.
This was the sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest.
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals.
I agree.
This could have been self-defense.
Actually, no, I don't know that it was self-defense. I don't think it was.
Just the crime scene they left behind.
This killer, dead or alive, deserves to be brought to justice!
But how
Bro.
can we do that? There's no reason to trust you if you have no proof. So says the ultimate liar.
Valid. Lawyer's intuition. Was this murder justified, or was it unforgivable? I feel like I have an obligation to find the truth.
To kill Kara so easily and without restraint.
I feel like we should use this, right?
There is no way to justify this.
Take a chill pill.
Me to stay calm. The sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest.
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals. This could have been self-defense.
My guess.
You don't even know the damn killer.
We're gonna use it here.
Just the crime scene.
No? Okay.
What's wrong with that? Is there a second crime scene only you know about?
My bad.
To kill Kara so easily and without
Here,
restraint.
let's.
There is no way to justify.
Take it chill pill, man. You expect me to stay calm?
This was humanity's brightest.
Oh,
We
wait.
shouldn't
Okay,
make a
that's
lot of
right. Hold on.
assumptions
My
about
bad.
the
We already shot
killer's
it. Gosh dang it.
morals. This could have been self-defense.
Okay, we need to take
You
that
don't
and
even
then
know the damn
agree
killer.
with him.
Just
That's
the
what we
crime
need to
scene
do.
they left behind.
My bad.
This killer, dead or alive, deserves to be brought to justice.
Okay.
But how can we do that? There's no reason to trust you if you have no proof.
Okay, so we're gonna agree with him.
Kill Kara so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this. Take it chill, Bill, man. You expect me to stay calm?
This killing of one of humanity's...
I don't see how that relates to his point.
To kill
Okay.
Kara so easily and without restraint.
Lawyer's
There is
intuition.
no way to justify this.
Can we not use this on anything?
Bill, man.
You expect me to stay calm?
We're just gonna use it on everything, I guess.
Sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest.
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals. This could have been self-defense. I'm glad you agree, but...
Frick.
To kill Kara so easily.
Without restraint. There is no way to justify this. Take it chill, Bill, man. You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest. We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions.
I know what we can do for the logic. We can use the tablet to agree with the sadistic killing part.
You don't even know the damn killer. Just the crime scene. What's wrong?
Oh, same one. Gosh dang it.
To kill Kara.
Okay, so anything after that? I want to use the lawyer's intuition if I can. It's the only purple thing here.
This killer, dead or alive, deserves to be brought to justice!
Is that the end of it?
But how can we do that?
No.
There's
Oh, I see. I'm so silly. So, my bad. That took a minute.
Expertise shouldn't be overlooked here. If there's anyone to believe, it's the lawyer.
Okay.
Say what?
Wolfgang has spent his life in the courtroom and on the crime scene. He'd understand the criminal mind in ways we can't possibly imagine.
Well, true. It's funny because I'm using this because I just wanted to see what they'd talk about, but this is completely irrelevant. Like, who cares? To this case. It might matter in future cases,
He's even
but...
emotionally invested in a murder case he'd never seen before. If his lawyer's intuition tells us that the killer was in the wrong, then we have no reason to disagree. We're all ultimates for a reason. We need to trust in talent.
Well spoken. If Wolfgang is adamant about the killer's intentions, we should have faith in him.
I get it.
Yeah, Wolfgang's clearly trying his best for us.
Let's trust in the lawyer and his bargain bin buddy.
Hey, if it means going home, then new guy's convinced me.
Right
Okay.
on! Team Wolfgang all the way!
Interesting. So this way, we're agreeing with him pathologically. The other way, we would have just more or less been agreeing with him logically.
Thank you all for your support.
Well, Eva, do you still disagree?
Even if I did, it's not worth pursuing.
Does this mean we're done here? Hey! We're Disembodied Voice! We've figured out your stupid case! Now let us leave!
Bruh.
Oh, you're finally done. In all honesty, I stopped paying attention a long time ago.
Hey, yo.
What? We only went through this case because of you.
Silly me, I have a short attention span.
Oh my gosh, very Monokuma of
Just for
him.
my own benefit, why don't you summarize the information you've learned? It'll be good practice.
I see.
Fine.
Okay, here we go.
You ask. I'll present the truth.
We'll present the truth together.
That's nice, Cassidy.
Let's dig into it.
It's time to bring this trial to an end. It's time for the closing argument. During closing argument, you must summarize the case from start to finish. Naturally, your medium will be a comic book, of course. Since the class has a relatively good understanding of the case, some parts of the comic are already complete. But it seems your peers have glossed over the smaller details, judging by those gaps in the story. To fill these gaps, you have been provided a collection of stock panels. Use the WASD keys to navigate your stock. However, hover your mouse over the relevant gap and press the left key to insert the panel. Don't forget the Q and E keys, those are how you flip between pages. By the way, gaps will reveal a hint if you hover over them. If you ever need to revisit this information, the control panel is only one F3 key away. Now stand up straight and fix that tie. We've got a case to close. Okay, so where did the killer hide? How do I select the things? I'm a little confused. Oh, here we go. In the janitor's closet. Here we go. This one. I see. Okay. What was the victim carrying? Oh, I see. We can't use these yet, so we need to come over here. How did the killer reach the door frame? Going up the stepladder. What did the killer pour into the bucket? We're not there quite yet. Oh. Okay. What is this? Assault rifle. Oh, we can do that. Nice. Nice. What did the killer pour into the bucket? We can't do that yet. How is the trap triggered? I don't think we can do that yet. Do when they were stabbed. We do have this though. Clawing at the killer's neck. Bleach. How's the trap triggered? Oh, the door. That's how it was triggered, technically. My bad. Here we go.
This is how it happened.
Got him, baby.
The victim was Kara Koshkinen, the ultimate teacher's aide.
Koshkinen.
Right before
Here we go,
death,
baby.
She was wandering around the academy carrying a large assault rifle. That was probably
Bro,
when
the
our
music
unnamed
slaps.
killer, who was armed with a knife, spotted her.
And decided he'd put her to eternal rest.
I guess so.
He slid inside that little janitor's closet.
Let's go, Ingrid.
He began hatching a deadly scheme.
Hey, voice actors.
Aye, they needed a way to surprise the victim, who was better armed. The killer grabbed a bottle of bleach from the closet and poured its contents into a bucket.
I love
That's
Ingrid
because
and
they
John.
wanted to blind Kara by splashing the bleach in her eyes.
Sneaky little bastard.
Bro, they're cooking with the theme.
But to do that, they would need to set a trap and catch the victim by surprise. The killer
thinking of
moved a
Desmond
step
too. I love all
behind
these
the
people.
closet door and climbed up it to reach the door frame.
Most of them, anyway.
There, they carefully placed the bucket.
That way, when the victim opened the door, the bucket would empty its contents all over her.
After completing this setup, the killer retreated to the far end of the janitor's closet and waited for the victim's arrival.
So, Ulysses.
The killer could have made noise to attract the victim's attention. Either
I love
way,
that they're all
the
doing it.
victim tried to
I like
open
that a
the door.
lot. I imagine they'll do the same thing in the real trial.
And, the bleach splashed all over her. Her scalp, face, and eyes were severely burned.
Ugh, brutal.
The killer leapt from his hiding place and began viciously attacking Kara. In his fit of rage and cruelty, he stabbed her from the front 28 times.
That is brutal.
While being stabbed, the victim tried to fight back by clawing at the killer. This left the dried blood under her fingernails.
Rip.
However, it didn't deter the killer, and the victim eventually died.
At present, we don't have enough information
Didn't
to
deter
reveal
the
killer's
killer.
true identity, but their actions haven't been forgotten. That is the truth behind this case. Well, are you satisfied?
A measly 3 acts. Poor Horace would be beside himself.
Who the hell is...
No one cares! We've done your end of the bargain. Now let us out already!
That is what I promised, isn't it? Alright, I'll let you leave this room.
Oh, I already knew that's where this was going. That's so funny.
But before I do, may I be frank with you all for a second? This entire time I've been hiding behind a speaker, afraid to show my face. My heart tells me you'll react cruelly to it. However, my head, it raises a compelling argument.
What?
Who cares what others think? Shouldn't I get to have a little fun once in a while? Yes. Let's do away with these silly boundaries already. It's time we meet face to face.
Nice. Face to face.
What's that all about?
Everybody, look over there.
She seems awfully scared. Okay, smoke. Oh my gosh, that's bright as hell. In true Junko Inoshima style. Hello, sir.
Toss away those pickaxes, peasants. The walls have finally crumbled.
The sign is so cool.
What will you do now that you've reached the other side? Will you treasure this new land? Serve it? Or will you set it ablaze? Well, peasants, have you made your choice?
Man.
Yo, what the fuck is going on?
Bro, the voice actor's cooked. This person is voice.
Are you the speaker guy?
Yeah, it was a little different, wasn't it?
No. You don't address your superiors like that. Within the halls of this academy, you'll refer to me by one name, and one name only. His Highness, the great and powerful Tozu, host of the Killing Game.
Okay, here we go. Killing Game? It's time, baby. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh, you can call me Tozu, for short. Hey, what do you mean Killing Game? Did you really think the story would end once we reach the climax of the case? Quite the contrary, this is only the beginning.
That's...
Of what?
Why the long phase?
It still says Damon. I can only presume that's a bug. Isn't it obvious? You, my dear subordinates, are going to kill each other. Say, that's not... Oh, okay, it all says Damon. Can I, like, F3 away? View backlog. The backlog is not working right now. I'm just gonna assume that's a bug. That's not funny. But you said we could go home if we solved the mystery. I gave you peasants an incentive. It's not my fault you took it the wrong way. What are you talking about? You lied to us. Lied? Oh, no, absolutely not. I'm a fair man, a man sworn to the truth. And if I recall correctly, should you all agree on the right answer, you'll be free to leave this place. No one cares already. Don't you bargain to let us out. That's what I promised, isn't it? All right, I'll let you leave this room. I specifically said you could leave this room, not go home. You sneaky son of a... Also, is it? Okay, it's not auto. You're full of it, man. There you go, losing control of your voice. That's how you know you've lost the argument. Logic is a cowardly thing like that. It'll jump ship the moment it's confronted with a challenge. He didn't lie, did he? He said he never lies. So, when he said this was Eden's Garden Academy... BS! What am I doing believing someone like him? There's no other way around it. He's lying. Hey, why didn't you tell us about your dumb game sooner? And watch you peasants run away. I can't host a game without any contestants. Please don't do this. I just want to go home. I want to be with my family. Please, please let me go home.
There's no need to worry.
There's no need to cry, Miss Tallner. You seem awfully calm. Huh? We're all civilized here. No one is going to kill simply because they've been ordered to. What's this? The peasant has a rebuttal. A match between unprepared, unfit players. You could hardly call that a match. In much the same way, this game you've proposed, a killing game between students who don't have the heart to kill. Do you seriously think we'll abandon our morals so quickly?
Hey!
Yeah, that's totally right. We're like super boring people. We don't have what it takes to do something like this. See, and that's the problem. That's why they're ultimates, because everyone here has something worth killing for.
Indeed.
My heart is terribly soft, softer than the most delicate piece of mochi. When I see a fly in my room, I catch the poor dear in a jar and return her to nature. My mochi heart would melt otherwise.
I see, I see.
That's your argument, is it?
How interesting.
So, what has you so convinced? What do you mean? What makes you think the people in this room lack the heart to kill? Do you even know anything about them besides their names and ultimate talents? If you do, then tell me. Regarding killing, where do they stand? Are they okay with murder if it's for the greater good? Are they okay with murder if it guarantees their survival? Is where they currently stand on the issue the same as where they're willing to stand? That's a great question. Go on. You've had a couple hours to get to know everyone. That's plenty of time to learn their life stories, right? Hooked. Should I take that as a no? Goodness, what a surprise. Not. You wouldn't be here all dressed up in that fancy suit if you were so naive. Bro cooked him. Oh, and one more thing. That trial you just did, that was your preparation for the killing game. How? All you did was make us play detective. And for good reason. Got him. If one of you is killed, the remaining students will participate in the true class trial. Your objective here is simple. Uncover the culprit if you can. Using evidence you've gathered during the investigation, you will argue who you believe committed the murder. The result will be decided by popular vote, and if you choose the right person, they alone will be executed, and the killing game will continue. However, if you choose the wrong person, the guilty party will be set free, and the rest of you will be executed instead. Those are the rules of the game. Everyone understand? All of us will be executed? That's not fair. Really? I think it's one of our most beautiful rules. Everyone has an incentive to participate in the game, innocent or otherwise. That's insane. You're treating us like pigs to slaughter.
Such
nonsense. All of you have the chance to survive this game. Do you think the common butcher is so merciful? By the way, if no guilty party ever escapes, the killing game will end when there are only 2 students left. Interesting. You may want to remember that. Maybe you don't care. It depends on what kind of person you are. Out of the 16 people here, only 2 would be allowed to survive? 2 people? That's hardly better than if someone gets away with murder. I know! That's what makes it so funny! That's a good point. Most of you will die, no matter what. And yet, with every passing trial, you'll all cling to life more desperately.
The show must go on.
And that exact mindset was what causes more murders to happen. It's interesting. Unlike Monokuma, he's really laying it out for them. Like, Monokuma basically just said, this is the reality, suck it up, deal with it, if you want to survive. And he's, like, really laying out the things that previous characters have figured out over time. You know what I mean? Aren't these rules simply brilliant? Perfect test of the limits of human compassion?
I have an appetite.
I can't wait. Wait to see all of you in action. The madman's loud something-inducing laughter was suddenly cut off by a well-timed strike from behind. Oh.
I've said
hey,
it a
yo.
million times, you mangy fucking mutt! I want nothing to do with this stupid game!
Is Grace gonna die? Is this gonna be a Mukuro Ukusaba moment?
Ow, 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 ow! Stop it!
Since you've made it clear you won't listen to reason, I'll just make sure you have no arms to kill with!
Hey, yo.
Do you even listen to when I talk? I'm not the one doing the killing. It's you lot who are...
Bro, again, the voice acting is great. Grace drove her fist directly into his stomach. She followed it with another blow and another, and when it looked like she wasn't going to be satisfied until he was dead, I saw it. From out of nowhere, a tiny red dot appeared on Grace's face. Oh!
Hey! Stop already! There's a...
Yeah, Desmond Hall. He saw it immediately. But before we could do anything... Ain't no way. The sound of a gunshot echoed in our ears. Oh, she's alive. Okay, it's a Hajime moment. We're good. I was like, ain't no way. Grace released the man from her grip. Speechless, she moved her hand to her cheek, which had been nicked by the stray bullet. Hello? Whoa! I have not seen this design before, this character. We all looked in the direction the shot came from. The shooter stood silently by the pillar, a trail of smoke rising from the mouth of her rifle. Her mask. The design was a panther instead of a goat, but it was clear that she was working with him. Fetch! You shot at her!
For real?
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them. Everyone slowly backed away from Tozu, suddenly fearful for their lives. What a shocking and unnecessary display of violence.
You think?
I was talking about the golfer woman. Well, now that you've become acquainted with our enforcer, Mara. So that's her name, Mara. If any of you kids try to jeopardize the killing game, such as by attacking me, she'll be there to put an end to your shenanigans. Even though she misses her shots? That was intentional, clearly. That was just a warning. I assure you, it'd be unwise to further test her sharpshooting ability.
In any case...
Regardless, I finally have an answer to your previous question. Meh? You asked me if I knew anything about my friends besides their names and talents. Truthfully, I don't, but I'll continue to trust them as if I do, because they're ultimates. Huh? They are charged with the betterment of society. They've proven themselves to be above simple acts of self-interest.
We will not succumb!
Even if you trap us, fire guns at us, and force us to endure farcical courtroom procedures, I kind of feel like some of them are ultimates because of their self-serving nature. Take the influencer, for example. I doubt that what he does is for the betterment of society. I highly doubt Winona is an entrepreneur that helps society. Hell, freaking the main character. I don't even think he cares about other people all that much. He only cares about himself. And who knows about everyone else. He's right. Grace was trying to compose herself, still clearly shocked by her run-in with death.
Don't test me.
No matter how weird these guys are, they're talented. Do you really think an ultimate would fall for this BS? That's right. My friends and I have too much to live for and too much to achieve. We won't throw all that away for your killing game.
Mixed up.
We're going to escape. We have to. One by one, the students raised their voices in solidarity with Wolfgang. So he's definitely... Wolfgang is pulling into this position of leadership for sure. All of them were so confident in what they were saying, so willingly to blindly put their faith in each other. And for some reason, it made me sick. Exactly, I was like, Damon is not this way. He hasn't been so far.
My.
Never underestimate the strength of human connection. I'm quite familiar with this idea. What kind of captain would I be if I can't even handle a small crew of 15? What is this horrible feeling of contempt? Why do I feel this way when everyone else seems so hopeful? You know, part of me is wondering, what if Damon is the mastermind? He seems to hate this. Like everyone coming together. The voice inside me was answered by another. You've got it all wrong. The students turned to their attention towards Eva, surprised by her words. Eh? Do you actually believe no one here will try to kill? You're really naive. I don't know how you made it as a lawyer. Like Winona, 100% would, I believe. Well, instead of resorting to random ad hominem attacks, why don't you explain your reasoning? It's obvious. Compared to normal people, ultimates are more prone to killing, not less. I think it goes both ways. I think some ultimates are going to be far less prone, and some are going to be far more. Living with constant praise from the public has ruined our sense of self. If you need examples, just look around the room. Excuse me?
Look.
In the outside world, ultimates will do anything to further their own goals. The same is probably true here. Once you realize your dreams can only be achieved if you escape, you'll resort to murder.
Can't you see?
If you continue to convince all these people to trust each other, they'll only be more vulnerable. Unless that was your plan all along. Is it possible you want to make everyone vulnerable? So that it will be easier for you to kill them? Dang. She was going straight for Wolfgang.
That's enough.
Period. Suddenly, Ingrid stepped in front of Wolfgang protectively. Wolfie's done nothing wrong. He's given all of us a vote of confidence. Yeah, it's something we all needed. So stop trying to turn us against each other, but please. The horrible feeling grew stronger as the other students admonished Eva. It grew stronger and stronger, and I knew I had to say something. Eva's right. Huh? No. Damn it, not you too. Look, I get it. You want to make the situation less scary for everyone. But Eva made a good point. All of us have a clear motivation to leave this place, even at the cost of other people's lives. Whether it's to see our families again, or for the sake of our talents.
Don't say that!
No, I would never kill anybody.
That's not it.
Diana, you yourself admitted you had too much to achieve. Don't you see how that's playing into the masked man's hands? This whole World Ultimates thing is pretty inane anyways. After meeting all of you, it's clear none of us have the same goals. What are you insinuating? Don't we all carry the same obligation to improve the world we live in? And that's the point that I disagree in. Some of them couldn't care less about improving the world. His question angered me more than anything that had been said before, because our main character doesn't give a frick about anyone. I could no longer suppress my true feelings. Look, the title barely means crap nowadays, alright? Most Ultimates are just dullards obsessing over some pointless hobby. The talents don't contribute anything of worth. Like yours, you mean? The only thing they're capable of is leeching off public attention for their own goals. That sounds exactly like you. Ouch.
You've got to be kidding me.
You've got to be kidding me. Running a business that feeds millions is pointless? No. Some of you are an exception, obviously. But come on, there's no way the rest of you can improve the world we live in with your niche fixations. Don't you mean rest of us? You're an ultimate too. Right. Yeah, what the hell makes you so special? I could feel their words worming their way into my soul. Exactly. Like, his talent is nothing particularly special. What makes you so special? Well, I can actually achieve many things with my talent. I can argue policy, consider ethics and morality. Better yet, I was the one who got you guys through that trial. Is that really what happened? I remember all of us helping out. Yo, I see what's going on. You think you're better than us just because you say words nobody understands? Well, that kind of stuff is relative. Like, tell me what a dragster is, do you know? Right. Watch your step, lest you trip and fall from the unparalleled heights of your vanity. She kind of cooked with that.
Not good enough.
I'm disappointed in you. How are you so concerned about making yourself look good when we're in the middle of a death game? Well. Wait, I wasn't trying to... It was no use. They turned against me, hurling obscenities, scowling, and simply shaking their heads. They're kind of right, though.
Isn't this lovely?
Phew, do I sense anger, hatred, an unquenchable sense of bloodthirst? Well, save that for later. I'm the only person who can spill blood in the courtroom. The elevator will take you back to the killing game arena. We've cleaned up the crime scene and prepared a dorm room for each of you. Thanks. Now can you get lost? Okay. He returned to his podium with the masked woman trailing closely behind. The bizarre mechanism that brought him into the room lowered the two of them into the ground and out of sight.
Hey.
Still, we're not going to kill anyone, right, guys? No matter what happens, we're all going to make it out of here okay. It was only when the madman had left that reality truly began to set in. Sorry, y'all, I have to be quiet because there's people sleeping. I'm trapped in a killing game with people who despise me. Here we go. Look at this photo. Iconic. Or this moment. I love that in this game, it's in the trial room. That's really cool. I love how Jet is comforting Mark. That's his name, right? Mark? This is such a good cast. Wow, how did this happen? I just wanted to help. I just wanted to make sure we didn't trust each other too easily. And now I'm being treated like the bad guy. Will these people practice what they preach? Will they really refuse to kill? I can't trust anyone here. For better or for worse, it's me versus them. Bro has the Togami mindset. The Togami. So cue the beginning of the end. The beginning of an unfathomable nightmare, an unrelenting despair, the beginning of the killing game. Brows woven by stitches and needles. That looks so good. Look at that artwork. To be continued. Very, very cool. I'm guessing that's it. Yes, please. Yes, we will save it over slot 1. Yes. Beautiful. And that's probably it, right? Oh, opening time. Title card. Ooh, this is beautiful. Robbie Good. He cooked. Whoa, this looks amazing. Are these new areas for Chapter 1? Here we go. Ultimate Debater. The snake. Crows. I don't know what Desmond is. Eloise, a swan. Toshiko, a flamingo. Winona, bear. Ulysses, owl. Mark, gator. Diana, I don't remember. Chameleon. Wolfgang, sheep. An apple. From the tree of ignorance. Kai, butterfly. Jet, wolf. Ingrid, I don't remember. Grace, bunny. Jean, I don't remember. Cassidy, spider? Interesting. Beautiful. Look at this. Ozu, a goat. And Mara, right? A jaguar. Let's go. Absolutely goated. It's genuinely the closest thing to an actual Danganronpa game I've ever seen. Chapter 1, Beneath the Veil of Hypocrisy. Very cool. Oh, is it just diving right in? I mean, I'm gonna have to stop here, obviously. Okay. We're gonna stop here. This has been wonderful so far. I think the cast is incredible. The voice actors are amazing. In terms of predictions, I think what I'll do is I'll ponder on it for a little bit. And going into chapter 1, which will hopefully be up very, very soon, don't worry. I'm trying to avoid spoilers because I know that chapter 1 has been out for a little bit, and I really, really don't want to be spoiled. So I'm going to play this as soon as possible. So this will hopefully come out soon, but I'll probably share some predictions in the next episode when I start chapter 1. I think that's the idea. Also, I don't know how many parts chapter 1 will be split up into. In the main Danganronpa games, there was kind of a variety of lengths, but they were usually pretty long, especially the first chapter. So I anticipate that it won't be exactly short, but we will see. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm really excited to get into chapter 1 and see what the creators of Project Eden's Garden have been cooking up. And thank you all so much for watching. I hope you'll continue to watch with me as we continue through what is currently out of this game. So Remember, have courage and be kind, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.